Hey you guys, just a quick recap. Leadville 100. I'm almost 2 weeks post race, and yeah, I mean, it happened, and I had a lot of help. So, just some of the main points that I've been reflecting on that have coming up are just that kind of the cliche stuff that you're capable of more than you think. There was plenty of points in that race where I didn't know if I would be able to keep running or if I was going to be able to finish. And just learning how to divide up the race and come back to the present. A lot of people talk about that, and but when you have so much ahead of you, it's easy to get sidetracked and just to want to be done and to want to be at that next place in the race. But you can only be where you are. So, that was a huge thing for me. I struggled pretty early on just because my quads were kind of blown up at mile 25. And I was just like, man, how am I going to go for another 75 miles? And I've never even run 75 miles. So, but you have to just watch your thoughts, and that's what I was working on. And like, okay, what am I doing right now? I'm running. I can run. There were points in the race where I felt like I couldn't breathe, or I had some like cramps in my chest, and I convinced. Well, I didn't completely convince myself, but I was like, okay, this is either a heart attack or a collapsed lung, and I had to just work my way out of that. And like, okay, I'm breathing, I can run, so let's keep doing that. And the more I focused on what I could do and what was presented in front of me, like, I just had the support to be able to keep rolling. And adjusted fuel a few times so that I was a little bit less nauseous and could take down more. But the pacers are huge. Like, having people to run with, even though I felt like I wasn't talking as much as I normally would, that was it was awesome. You just get into a rhythm and you start running. And I also found that I would get on these waves where I would be running again and running at a decent clip. I think it's easy when you're tired to get stuck in this little rut of this slow trot. And once I took a minute and regather myself, I was like, okay, I think let me just try to run at my normal cadence. And I started doing that, and then all of a sudden, I was running from 10:30s or 11s to 8:30s, and so I think the nutrition, like everybody said, was important. Not going out too fast. Of course, I did. It's hard to know what too fast is in a 100-miler, but I think I know a little bit better. Trying to bank some time early on doesn't make that much difference in a 20-hour race. So I also came off of it feeling pretty good. Like, when I did 100K in 2012 at Bandera, I thought I never wanted to do something like that again, and it was like the hardest, most terrible thing I had done. And so after this, I definitely wasn't thinking about wanting to keep running after that. But it wasn't until the next day where I started thinking, like, I think I can improve. And I believe I could go run 18 hours. And that's kind of what my loose goal was, 18 to 20 hours. But, during the race when I wasn't hitting those paces, I had to realize, I had to work through that mentally because I just wanted to give up. Then I wasn't doing what I thought I was going to do. And it's funny how those expectations can take over and make you feel like you suck or that you're failing. And so how do you kind of bring it back around? Because, I know it probably sounds ridiculous. I got 20th place, but I felt like I was in last place for, a significant part of that. And like, of course I wasn't, but your mind will take you there. So kind of the main points, I probably would have done a little more, if I do it again. I'm going to hit some more hills. I think I'll back off, a lot of people that did better than me didn't necessarily run as much as I was, and I think I could do some more work on the hills and in the mountains. Like, I was right there, but anytime I would run in the mountains, my quads were just blown up for like 3 or 4 or 5 days. So I kind of stopped doing that so I could just keep running. So Nika, come here. Anyways, those are it's kind of my reflection on it. I encourage everybody to do it, or do something that you don't know that you can do, because like I've said, it's not often you're doing something that you have never done and you don't know if you can do, and you have seen people do it, but it's like, it's a whole new experience, and it builds a lot of confidence for you. Not that I need more, but just kidding. But it does. I mean, it shows you that you're capable. And so I'm excited to do another one in the future, and you know, reach out, ask me questions. I'm not a professional 100-miler runner, but I felt really happy to finish it, and to come home with a big belt buckle was cool, and just to have my family and friends there at the finish line was awesome too. So yeah, get after it. You can do it. And yeah, that's all. Thanks for listening.